track, I got my inch. Hey, Pop Kids! I was just getting out my electric train set to put around my Christmas tree. But this isn't any old train set. This was my Grandpa John's train set, my kid's great-grandfather. And now it's been passed on to me, and someday I hope to pass it on to one of my kids or maybe even my great-grandkids. I want to pass it on because there's a special story behind it. And my Grandpa John was also a special person in my life. He and I would talk about Jesus a lot, and I even found a poem my grandpa wrote when I was still a kid that said someday I would be a preacher. Pretty cool, huh? When we look at stories of the people who have been a part of our lives, and even the people who we've never even met but are part of our history, we might learn a lot of interesting things about those people. That reminds me of something in the Bible. In the first chapter of a book about Jesus called Matthew, there's a long list of people who were a part of the family Jesus was born into. And some of those people had quite the story. But through reading that story, we can see how God was a part of it, pointing to Jesus. You know, looking at this train and thinking about my Grandpa John makes me wonder, what story might people tell about me someday? I just thought of something. This Christmas season, just like we might make a wish list of things we want, why don't we make another list to think about too? A list about the kind of person we want God to help us become, and what kind of stories we want people to tell about us someday. I already have a head start of ideas from my Grandpa John. How about you, Pop Kids? What stories and memories can you think of from the people in your life? And what stories would you want people to tell about you someday? With God's help and Jesus' love, the story of God's people is still being written by you and me. And that's pretty fun to get to be a part of.